weeks and had a long time.
Yeah, it was. We have it on, or do you want me to play it on?
I can probably all in, I'll transfer off.
Yeah.
Do it just about far. We got it in the street.
Don't care what you think of me. The world's changing. I'm not changing.
Testing 1, 2, 1, 2.
Test audio now, so the mic started.
I think that, I'll double check. Let's do it now. If we get in trouble, we get in trouble.
Just doing a quick sound check here. Start again. Just doing a quick sound check here for audio for the men's game later on. Down. So we're just going down a little bit. So just doing a quick check here. I might have my microphone up too loud as well. I can change that to a lower level. Welcome to... That sounds good? No worries.
Yeah. No, it was,
Yeah,
afternoon, everyone, and welcome to round 15 of the Clean Away Premier League Women NTFA competition. Adam Webster with you here today as we see Launceston take on South Launceston from Windsor Park in Riverside. South Launceston sitting first on the NTFA Clean Away Premier League Women's ladder at 12 wins and 2 losses. Launceston fourth with 8 wins, 5 losses and a draw. So South Launceston moving to this game as they do most of the season. Heavy favourites to continue on their winning ways. Last week, Launceston lost to Scottsdale, who are currently sitting in third place by just 8 points. They remain in fourth place on the ladder, quite a ways away from Launceston, North Launceston and Longford. South Launceston defeated Deloraine, who are second by 51 points. So the difference between first and second fairly significant in this season. South Launceston with a dominant performance so far in 2025. South Launceston Lucy Salzberger leads the competition with 41 goals. Liana Freestone with 21 goals is in third place on the goal-kicking tally. For Launceston, their leading goal kicker is Tasmanian representative Georgia Hill with 12 goals. Poppy Schoenmaker has 10 for the season. About to get underway. Here at Windsor Park. First quarter of this round 15 contest between Launceston and South Launceston. See if Launceston can put a dent. It's been a dominant season by the Bulldogs. Raises the ball. Freestone. Can't quite control that one. Gets it across to Lefebvre. Launceston with a clearing kick early. And now an entry inside 50 through Lefebvre. And a beautiful mark taken by Johnston in front. Safe hands, and Johnston will have a shot from about 35 metres out. Floats it up to the top of the square. No one can control it. Getting in there was Lyons. Ball spills in the direction of Carras. Now at the back of the pack, right to the top of the square. It will be wrapped up. And tackle applied by Woods. So Johnston to contest the ruck. Goes over the top of the 2 rucks. Falls in the Hardcastle direction. There'll be another ball up. Freestone taps it to the front of the pack. Beautiful work by South Launceston to get that clearing kick around to centre wing. Goes through the hands of Leonard. Tracks it down though, does Leonard. Handball out to the back of the pack, but only so far as Viney. Viney searching inside 50. Playing in front really well was Wainberg. Gathering that one is White. And now falls to Radford. Radford. The outer wing. And Witt take over. Through the hands there of Corbett. Launceston with the numbers, but here are reinforcements. Corbett gets it over the top, only so far as Radford. Radford with a little scrubbing kick. Freestone on with one arm tied behind her back. South Launceston unable to get through. It's a great effort by Launceston with numbers, but that was an errant handball, and only so far as Brewer overran that. Bumping in there was Haberley. Taken down. There'll be a ball up. So good work there by Georgia Haberley to force the contest. Freestone with the tap down. Back of the pack. Radford again, who's been busy early. Haberley. Kicks it to the outer wing. Tracking it down is Schoenmaker. Overruns it slightly. Morrison has reinforcements. Now Freestone. Beautiful little step. Looking right to the mouth of 50. Over the top of the pack. Richards will track it down. Richards is tied up almost by Weinberg, but it spills to the back of the pack once again. Brewitt is there, opportunistic, chases down her own ball. Brewitt, little kick into the pocket. Great pressure applied here by South Launceston. Carras has it, slung as she kicked. Overrunning it with Schoenmaker. It's Leonard. And here's Freestone, picking it up, kicking the drop punt, and missing. So Liana Freestone with the first score of this contest, and South Launceston leading by that one solitary point as Tiffany Weinberg looks to kick it in. So Weinberg able to gain some territory, only so far as Brewitt. South Launceston immediately back inside 50. Trickle close to the boundary, but not quite. Here's Brewitt again. And Weinberg getting it out of bounds. Giving away a free kick to Weldon. Weldon inside 50. And beautifully into the hands of Richards. Richards looking for and finding a teammate in Salzberger. So Salzberger within range. Approaches. Drop punt on the way. Has missed to that right-hand side. So two behinds to South Launceston so far, both missing right. Launceston clearing outside 50. Only so far though is Corbett. And now Freestone. Another inside 50. Ball tracked down by White. Avoids it going out of bounds, but can't avoid it after that handball. Rosso it was trying to track that one down. Ball played back in and tracked down well by Habley. Habley with the kick in the direction of Johnston. Now falls to Smith. The overlap run here by Launceston is positive. Is Hill. And Johnston holding the ball. Tough decision. Launceston with a really positive play as Brewitt kicks it back to centre wing. Here's Habley again. Able to force it over the line for a boundary throw in. So South Launceston with two early misses to the right-hand side of goal. Launceston with some positive play as Freestone gets the tap out. It's eventually slapped forward by Witt. Here's Lefebvre, overruns it. Now Gillow. Only so far as White. White looking to switch. Centre of the ground. Schoenmaker tries to control it. Can't quite. Freestone now. Back inside 50. Close to it. Chasing well was Weinberg. Been brave back there so far. Under fire. Gillow. Creates an opportunity for Salzberger. But White does very well. As does Leonard. Gillow. Handball over to Viney. Viney with a shot at goal. And a third behind, missing to the right for the Bulldogs. So some wasted opportunities early here by South Launceston. If Lonnie can capitalise. Weinberg again. Duties to kick out. But only so far as Freestone. The ruck, who is strong and looking for, almost looking for her sister. Finds Liana. She's bothered really well. Brewitt though, bit of a snap. No good. Salzburg is there, trying to track it down. Handball out in the direction of Breward. To the square. Williams is there. Tackle laid by Radford. There'll be a ball up. Richards to contest. Richards with the tap over the back. Gillow spills to Williams, who kicks a goal. Emily Williams scores the first one for South Launceston. And after repeat entries and repeat attempts and 3 misses to the right. See Richards with the tap behind her back to Gillow. Gillow with a deft touch to Williams. With an easy finish from just outside the goal square. We approach the halfway mark of this first term. Just about all South Launceston so far in their territory, but haven't been able to capitalise quite so much on the scoreboard. Having said that, that's their first goal. And Launceston to see some positive signs from this quarter to see if they can get an entry, but they won't with service like that. Freestone to Freestone. Now over to Gillow. Gillow with a shot at goal. Could it be 2 in a row? It's touched. So 4 behinds to South Launceston, and Weinberg should be used to these kick-in duties by now. She's had 4 of them in this term. Kicks to the far right side. Freestone marks again. Kicks through the ball right to the top of the square. Ball falls to Salzberger. Fakes one way, goes the other, gets it to Gillow, who kicks the goal. Georgia Gillow with the second. And immediately, 2 goals for South Launceston. So a 16-point lead to the Dogs. Launceston yet to score in this contest. Freestone. Decisive tap forward. Lefebvre tries to track it down, as does Smith. Smith on hands and knees. Breward gets it over to Freestone. Another entry inside 50. Strong work from Leonard to break up that marking attempt. Gillow with a handball over the top in the Williams direction. White in there as well. Gillow, another snap. Ball falls a little bit short, so it's on the deck. Cocker tries to control it. Held up by Smith. The umpire will ball it up. Tap by Witt, only so far as Freestone. Smothered. Here's Weinberg. Tracking that down in a calming presence, just runs it out of bounds. And accepts the boundary throw in as a chance to reset. Cocker contests the ruck. Launceston with a hurried kick out. The numbers all with the Dogs here. Picked up by Corbett. Gets it over to Freestone with another inside 50 entry. Through the hands of Weinberg. Only so far as Witt. Witt kicks in the direction of Kemsley, but there's 3 Dogs there ready to pounce. One of them is Weldon, who combines in this passage of play with Attard. Johnston trying to lock it in. Can't do so. Here's Attard. And now Weldon. Freestone, the calming presence. Kicks it to a 2-on-1 though. Contested well. Witt captures it. Scrubbing ball. Overrunning that one. Falling into the hands of Corbett. That was out of bounds on the full. So a kick here to Delta Witt. Launceston defenders have had to be quite busy in this first 13 minutes. It's been all dogs. One entry early on. Mark here to Smith. The Launceston just working it along the wing, which might be the smartest decision for them. Here's an opportunity for Haberley. Haberley just getting it right inside 50, right to the paint of 50 for Launceston. Opportunity here for Lanza. Lanza follows up with a tackle on Freestone. Weldon clears it. Only so far as Radford. Radford looking inboard and finding Lefebvre. And Lefebvre with a chance to put Launceston inside 50. Radford with the overlap. A high up and under kick in the direction of Hill. Hill tracks it down, does well on Woods. Handball inboard to Schoenmaker. Takes a bounce. Poppy Schoenmaker on the right. Snap around the corner. Freestone held without it. Manages to pick it up and get a clearing kick. Attacking it really well there was Haberley. But equal to the task was Corbett. Dispossessed. Manages to get it again and handball it, but directly onto the ground, and will be a ball up inside 50 for Launceston. As we wind down to 3.5 minutes to go in this term. Double-handed tap there by Freestone, and Liana Freestone picks it up and clears it outside 50. So here we go again. South Launceston are away, but only so far as Witt. Witt does really well. Manages to fake her opponent out of her shoes, and then gets it into the hands of Gillow, though. It's cut off. Gillow finds Salzberger. Dogs' opportunity to just slow things down a little bit as we head into the last few minutes of this term. Salzberger with a kick down the line. Intercept mark, though, taken. And Launceston will look to go in ball, but only so far as Jaslyn Freestone, who's been everywhere in this first term, it's fair to say. Part of all the good passages of play that South Launceston have produced. Weldon. Missed kick, though. And Carras with an opportunity. Cut off by Corbett. He's been on the end of a few intercepts in this first term. Corbett gets the overlap from Freestone. Now inside 50. Wainberg will contest. We go in the Salzberger direction. And now Breward. Breward only so far as Radford. Radford puts on the afterburners and clears outside 50. There's Corbett again. Yet another intercept possession. An opportunity to go inside 50 for the Dogs. She does. Strong pair of hands here from Freestone, who follows up what was a drop mark in the end, goes in the Cocker direction. Cocker follows up really nicely, looking for a handball, finding Richards, who manages to get it past the Launceston defender and kick the third goal of the contest for the Dogs. So Imogen Richards, little dribbling punt. Looked like she was going to kick a drop punt, and the Launceston defender was there available to try and spoil, but just went under them. Great work here by Cocker. Finally get the handball out. It was just almost a missed kick that worked out well. So 22-point lead as we head into the last minute of this first term in round 15 of the Clean Away Women's Premier League NTFA competition. Big tap by Freestone. Only so far as Lefebvre. She's tackled. Salzberger follows up her own work, as does Lefebvre. Great work from Grace Lefebvre to get it inside 50. Ball spills. Well done. Launceston with a chance to get it right to the teeth of goal. Overrunning it was Lanza. Handball out from Hill. Little scrubbing ball to the teeth of goal. And Launceston have their first through Johnston. Immediately biting back after the Imogen Richards goal. And Kelsey Hill has been great in her return. See her in the sleeves there, just getting it across to Hardcastle, and then Johnston with a scrubbing ball as we hear the siren for quarter time. So Launceston with a very late goal in that term, trail by 16 points. South Launceston 3-4-22 to Launceston, one straight goal. Goal kickers for South Launceston, Richards had one, Gillow with one, and Williams with one. Both Liana and Jaslyn Freestone brilliant in that first term for South Launceston. And you're remiss of me not to call out Ashley Corbett with a number of intercept possessions. For Launceston, as I said, Kelsey Hill returning to the side after a long absence. She's been extremely good. Isabella Johnson with a goal late in that first term. Take a brief break. We'll be back to you with the second term shortly. Richards to contest. Richards with the tap over the back. Gillow spills to Williams, who kicks the goal. Freestone marks again. Kicks through the ball right to the top of the square. Ball falls to Salzberger. Fakes one way, goes the other, gets it to Gillow, who kicks the goal. Mark in the end goes in the Cocker direction. Cocker follows up really nicely, looking for a handball, finding Richards. It's get it right to the teeth of goal. Overrunning it was Lanza. Handball out from Hill. Little scrubbing ball to the teeth of goal. And Launceston have their first. Welcome back to Windsor Park in Riverside for round 15 of the Cleanaway NTFA Premier League women's competition. They're at South Launceston, leading Launceston by 16 points at the first change. South Launceston had the vast majority of the play in the first term before Launceston kicked a goal almost right on the quarter-time siren through Isabella Johnston to give them further opportunity to build on that good play in this second term. Adam Webster with you this afternoon. Thanks for joining us. And it's been a very impressive performance by a very impressive South Launceston team so far today. They've had goal kickers in Richards, Gillow and Williams. Launceston with that aforementioned goal to Isabella Johnson. And Jaslyn Freestone has been brilliant in the ruck and around the ground, as has Liana Freestone. You'd expect that from their stars, South Launceston. Ashley Corbett with a lot of intercept possessions as well for Launceston. Tiffany Wainberg's been brave in the back line. And Kelsey Hill returning has been very good as well. We'll get underway in this second term. There is Freestone, tapping it directly to Haberley though, getting the clearance out in the direction of Rosso. Morrison though, tracks it down, hurriedly onto the boot, direction of the boundary line, but Freestone picks it up and kicks it right along that boundary line. A fortuitous bounce in the direction there of Lyons, and Lyons dribbles it into the pocket. Overrunning that one was Richards. And Richards and Cocker apply the tackle to Wainberg, and it will be a ball up fairly close to this South Launceston goal. So Cocker to take it directly out of the ruck. Handball over the top. Freestone can't quite handle it. Goes back and gets it. Now Weldon. Weldon with a drop punt. Wainberg. Can't quite control it though, and dribbling through another goal is Emily Williams. I thought Wainberg was really close to the line there and was going to let that one go through for a behind. Instead saved it, and that proved costly. See, she fumbled it across the line, and really strong there was Salzberger with the goal assist. Emily Williams with her second goal of this contest. We're back out to a 22-point margin in the favour of the Dogs. So for Wainberg, who's been really good, and as I said, quarter-time break, brave as well. It's a business decision to get it over the line as Freestone, just with another decisive tap out of the ruck. It's then tackled really well by Lanza, but no prior opportunity. Freestone with another tap, double-handed fist from Haberley. Overruns it to the outer side. Liana Freestone fumbles it twice and then gets a really deep searching kick in the direction of Cocker. Cocker taps it in the Williams direction, but White tracks it down. White with an inside-out punt, trying to get it back into the teeth of goal, but Weldon picks it up. Weldon blazes away and is a behind. Hayley White almost with a bit of a banana to try and keep it in bounds, but it was intercepted by Weldon. His eyes lit up, but missed to the right. White takes it outside 50. Liney did well. Borrowdale had it, and Borrowdale gives away the free kick for holding the ball. Gillow into the Freestone direction. Freestone spelled well by Witt. Witt wraps it up, but Liana Freestone wraps up Witt. Jaslyn Freestone directly down to Liana, who's tackled again by Witt, and a replay. Jaslyn back down to Liana. Handball over the top. Controlled by Breward. Now out to Freestone. White, double-handed fist. Here's Breward. Cocker didn't have front position there. Really great work by Rosso. Push her opponent off the ball and get it outside 50. Rosso following up her own work. And the ball will spill out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Hardcastle and Morrison collided there, the two number 16s. Rosso with a second, third, fourth effort just to make sure that it was outside 50. Give Launceston a chance and some space. Nice little tap here by Witt. Tackle applied to Haberley, who just held it for too long. And Viney will take the kick from right on 50. Beautiful lead here by Salzburger. Salzburger slightly too far out to score. Spots another lead, but just goes directly over the top of Gillow. Handball finds Gillow. Gillow with a chance to steady and finish. Georgia Gillow with her second goal to join Emily Williams on 2. And now we have a 29-point lead for South Launceston. Kick just went over the top of Gillow, but good effort to follow up. Just needed an opportunity to steady from about 25 metres out. Kick truly. South Launceston have been impressive so far for that to continue. Freestone this time beaten by Witt. Following up that work was Viney. Viney was tackled. Here's Haberley. Haberley searching for Hill. Hill with a handball in the Hardcastle direction. Evades the tackle. And a great kick and a beautiful mark there to Johnston, who has one goal already. See if she thinks she's in range. Johnston to the teeth of goal, tracking it down really well. There was Attard in the direction of Weldon. Weldon is tackled very nicely by Rosso. So a ball up inside 50 for Launceston. Jaslyn. Here's Haberley in a 2-on-1 situation. Did really well, stood up in the tackle, was infringed, caught high and earned herself a free kick. So great work here by Georgia Haberley. Great persistence as well. Haberley with a little drop punt. Spotted a teammate in Hardcastle, kicks it into the pocket. In there is Hill. There as well as Barringer. In the end, kicked out of bounds on the full opportunity here for Attard. Attard with a clearing kick in the Freestone direction. Did go out of bounds and it will be a throw-in. So still inside 50 for Launceston. Got a lot of numbers around the ball here. Now able to push forward. Haberley. Tackled as she kicked it. Affected the kick, and Corbett professionally lets it go over the line. Throw in. Goes in the Haberley direction once again. Freestone is there. Only so far though is Schoenmaker. Freestone follows up her work. Here's Woods. But Hill, equal to the task. Kelsey Hill. Up and under in the Johnson direction. Can't quite get the mark. Cleared out by Gillow. A poor bounce, but it worked out okay for Radford, who was tackled by two different players, though. Gang tackled. Morrison was the one that picked it up, but immediately tackled. And a ball up just outside 50 for Launceston. Freestone to Freestone. Going to call that a lot today. To the outer wing. Here's Weldon. Lefebvre gets there first. Weldon tries to apply the tackle, but it's 2-on-1 with Rosso. In the direction of Viney now. Viney tackled as soon as she gets the ball. Kick forward, hard to be tracked down by Richards, who already has one goal today. Well done by Launceston. Smith rushed into a poor kick. Now we're right on the 50. Radford has it. Did a little too much, but managed to get rid of the ball. Nice quick hands there by Lefebvre, and Launceston with a chance in the middle of the ground through Witt. Witt with the drop punt to the wing. Here's Hill. Hits Witt. Can't quite handle it though. Corbett and Hill are battling. Morrison's in there too. And here's Freestone. The drop punt. Radford, unfortunately, got Viney high. Freestone tried to play on. The umpire says, I never called advantage. So Hannah Viney and Radford are having a little bit of a disagreement there on the wing. Ball ends up in the hands of Smith. Another rush kick. Here's Radford making up for her earlier infringement. Drop punt. Now in the Viney direction. Tackle applied. Witt forces the ball up. Freestone. Soccer out of mid-air. It's Breward. Great tackle applied there by Breward. Bone crunching. Gillow. Ball inside 50 now for South Launceston. An opportunity for Salzburger, who's marked about 20 out on an angle. 25 out on an angle. Opportunity to kick South Launceston's 6th goal. The leading goal kicker in the competition strolls in, kicks through the ball, and you know the rest. Lucy Salzburger kicks the goal, her 42nd for this clean away NTFA Premier League women's season. With about 6 minutes to go in this second term, we have a 35-point lead to South Launceston. Salzburger with her first of the day after what was a really positive passage of play here for Launceston, but just didn't bear any score. Freestone. Jaslyn to Liana again. Tracked down well. Here's Leonard streaming through the centre of the ground, getting the ball inside 50 for Launceston. Kelsey Hill overruns it. Corbett clears it out. Back into the centre of the ground. Witt combining with Kemsley and Smith. He's Schoenmaker. Ball spills to the back of the pack. And Leonard. Schoenmaker kicking it towards the 50. He goes Hardcastle. Centering ball. It's a turnover though. Gillow. He's going to get it back here. If the kick didn't find its target. Morrison's in there as well, as is Smith. Rosso and White. Here's Rosso again. Showmaker left it behind. And Morrison for South Launceston. Looking at right to the paint of 50. Over the top to Salzberger. Salzberger bothered by Lefebvre. Lefebvre tackled. And it'll be a ball up inside 50 for the Dogs. Richards taps it down the Freestone direction, who follows up her own work. Out towards White though. Freestone able to follow it up. Pushed off the ball. There'll be a free kick here to Liana Freestone. Suspect too far out to score, but very reliable kick. So we'll give her teammates every chance. And Cocker stands up and takes a strong mark. Opportunity for Cocker. About 20 metres out. On a reasonably tight angle. Kayla Cocker approaches. Kicks it high, but misses to the right. It's a tough angle. Gave it enough air, just couldn't quite get it between the big sticks. But a really good mark there by Michaela Cocker, and a good kick by Liana Freestone to set that play up. White, unguarded. Kicks it outside 50. This will be tracked down though by Gillow. The Freestone direction, it'll head back inside 50. Liana Freestone's lurking here. It'll kick over the top, only so far as Weinberg. And learned from her mistake in the first term, lets that one go over the line for a behind. Now an opportunity to kick this one out. 6-7-43 to 1 goal straight 6, a 37-point margin. A strong inset mark here by Keely Morrison, who takes off, kicks, and kicks out of bounds on the full. Oh no, it's one behind, snuck in. So 6-8-44 now, South Launceston. Weinberg has learnt that South Launceston are not monitoring this goal square, so tries to get it out in the hill direction. Gillow, inside 50. Freestone and Williams are there. Liana Freestone tries to track that one down, does eventually. Third bite of the cherry, tackled. Little head clash there as well. Both players a little slow to get up, but Hayley White is awarded the free kick. White kicks it outside 50. Only so far as Gillow. Freestone in there as well. Gillow with a high up and under. Williams can't quite control that one. Now gets an opportunity to snap around the body. Cocker collides with her teammate and then checks on her rather than checking the ball, which was with Rossiter. And here's Freestone with another chance to go inside. Just pops it up. A nice kick for Brewitt. Opportunity for Brewitt. A teammate in Salzberger that's just snuck out, but now Launceston defenders come to her. So had an opportunity if she'd moved it on a little quicker to give Salzberger an opportunity. There's the siren. Big kick. And that's a goal. It's touched on the line though, says the umpire. The horns went up. It was a strong kick. They just didn't quite have the legs to get over the outstretched fingers of the Launceston defender. So Launceston will finish this half 6-9-45, a 39-point lead over Launceston with just that solitary goal that they got in the end of the first term. Goal kickers, 4 South Launceston, 2 to Williams, 2 to Gillow, 1 to Salzburger and 1 to Richards. And for Launceston, that 1 goal to Isabella Johnston. Adam Webster with you. We'll take a break across half-time. Bring you the second half of this round 15. Clean away NTFA Premier League women's game. We're at South Launceston leading Launceston. Stay with us. Weldon with a drop punt. Wainberg can't quite control it though, and dribbling through another goal is Emily Williams. Slightly too far out to score. Spots another lead, but just goes directly over the top of Gillow. Handball finds Gillow. Gillow with a chance to steady and finish. Goal kicker in the competition. Strolls in, kicks through the ball. And you know the rest.
Congratulations. Red button on. Oh, I know why. I know why. Stay out there. I know why.
I'm not changing.
Transmitter to the tie line.
Welcome back to round 15 of the Clean Away NTFA Premier League Women's Competition, where at Windsor Park today we have South Launceston leading Launceston by 39 points at half-time as we enter the second half. Goal kickers for South Launceston, Williams with 2, Gillow with 2, Salzberger and Richards with singles. And for Launceston, Johnston with their 1 goal. In the first half, it was Jaslyn Freestone, the pick of the punch for South Launceston, giving, among others, Liana Freestone first use of the football on so many occasions, and also following up that with some great work around the ground. Georgia Gillow is dangerous inside 50, as was Emily Williams with her 2 goals. Actually, Corbett also very handy along the ground. Launceston, Kelsey Hill is extremely good across that first half and dangerous whenever they were able to get the ball forward. Tiffany Weinberg continues to be brave down back. Delta Witt doing her best as well. We'll get going here in the third term. Tap down one easily by Richards. Richards looking for Freestone. And ball across in the direction of Gillow. And now back to Freestone, who will go inside 50. Williams tracking down Haberley. Haberley with a kick outside 50. Witt tackled by 2 South Launceston players. Falls to Smith. Smith is also tackled. There's been a free kick popped here for Sienna Smith. Smith with a hurried kick away in the direction of Viney. Bring up nicely with Weinberg. Here's Witt. Kicking it inside 50 for Launceston. And Radford with a mark. Radford just assessing her options. She'll kick it right from 50 into the pocket. It's over the head though of Johnston. Following up that work was Corbett. Good down back for South Launceston and was tackled. So a ball up. Up down falls to Williams. Tackled. Cherry on the ground. Yeah, repeat stoppage. Spills to the front of the pack. Here's Hill. Hill with a kick off the ground. And so far though is Morrison. Morrison overran it slightly. Here's Rosso. Rosso unable to kick. And there's been a free kick. And it will belong to Lucy Rosso. From an angle. Just about 15 metres out. So Lucy Rosso with a chance to open Launceston's account in this second half. Goes across the face of goal. Mark is spilled. Hill tries to control it. Goes through everyone's legs. Hill in the Rosso direction. Hill tracking it down again. Second, third, fourth effort. Here's Radford. Handball in the Hill direction. Tackle applied to Gillow. Following up that work was Breward. Breward tackled by 2 players. South Launceston out of danger for the time being. Be a ball up. Gillow to contest the ruck. Freestone is there. Ready and waiting. Tackle applied, and that's holding the ball. Grace Lefebvre. Nice tackle applied. Another chance to go inside 50. In the Johnston direction. Taylor is there too. She's tackled. Now a stoppage 20 metres out from the Launceston goal. Gillow again. Straight in the Freestone direction. Bothered by Hill. Follows up her work. His muscles out of the way. Breward. Out to Gillow. Kicks it outside 50. Here's Viney. Creates some separation from Smith and kicks it down to the wing. Now Leonard finding Haberley. Habley to Radford. Radford looking to move it quickly. Habley with the overlap run. A long left foot inside 50 in the hill direction goes over her head, and Sherry is there to mop it up for South Launceston. Sherry kicks it to the 50. South Launceston with the numbers. Freestone dispossessed and holding the ball once again. So Habley, another chance to go inside 50. Searching for a lead from Johnston. Can't quite hit the target though. Dispossessed. Weldon has it. At the back of the pack for Corbett. Takes a pull bounce away from Habley. It's been good this quarter. Lefebvre is there. Here's Habley again. Direction of Smith. Scrubbing ball. Tapped inside 50. Cleared now from Stewart. Stewart to the wing. Going so far as White. White will look into the centre of the ground. They'll look to switch through Hardcastle. And then a long ball to Schoenmaker. Schoenmaker with some space and an opportunity to go into the pocket. Picks the target and finds Rosso. Rosso maybe too far out to score. Decides to centre the ball instead. Falls to Radford. Radford tries to take on two opponents. That was ill-advised. Freestone clears it with a drop punt. Direction of Richards. Habley follows it up. Habley with another crack. Tackled. And that's holding the ball. Viney. Gets it over the top to Woods. It's just beyond the half-back flank. Looking for a target. Can't quite pick out Corbett, who lays the tackle instead. And a ball up on centre wing. Freestone follows that up. Smith is there. Over the top now to Viney. Viney in the direction of Lyons. Lyons trying to keep it in. Does. Handballs it back in the direction of Gillow. Now to 50. Where Richards is waiting. Kicks it over the top. Only so far as Rossiter. Rossiter overruns it. Follows up the work. Cocker's there as well. Hardcastle. A dangerous kick across the face of goal. Ball's being tracked down here by Morrison. Overrunning it with Schoenmaker. Schoenmaker tackled by Morrison. Did Schoenmaker drag it in? No. Ball up. Richards taps it over the top. Follows up her work. Quick hands. Straight over to Breward, who finishes. Goal to Hayley Breward. The 7th for South Launceston. Take a game high 45-point lead. Launceston again. Some positive entries inside 50. Just can't tend to get result they're looking for. While see some great work here by South Launceston to build on this lead even further. Tapped down by Richards. He's Freestone. White. Just overruns it slightly. Now Gillow. Finds the goal kicker, Breward. Breward inside 50. Ball drops perfectly for Morrison. Morrison too far out to score. Looks to move it on quickly to a 2-on-1. Cocker stands up. Williams in there. Cocker over the top. Falls down. Williams guarded by 2 different players. Ball spilled by Woods, but she follows that up. Williams can't take the mark. Here's Viney with a snap to the pocket in the direction of Cocker. Ball will spill out of bounds, and it will be throw-in. Midway point of this third quarter, 45-point lead for South Launceston. Cocker to go up against Haberley. Spills out to Viney. And Breward. Not only so far as Rossiter. Rossiter. Miss kick that works out okay. Goes to Leonard. Leonard plays on. Smothered though. Good follow-up work. Into the pocket. Here's Richards. Already kicked 1 goal. Rossiter. Handballs it out of bounds. After a tackle applied, and there'll be a boundary throw-in. Richards to contest the ruck against Lefebvre. All right. Richards taps it directly at Brewer, but straight through her hands. Morrison trying to follow up, as is Viney. Viney with a rushed kick. Williams leaves it behind, but smartly in the end. Handball out in the direction of Morrison. Morrison kicks towards goal. It's marked by White on the line. White shows Cocker where the mark is and then takes off when her back is turned. Skittles through 5 or 6 players there, White's kick, and it's now found itself to centre wing, where Rosso continues to track it down. Fit there by Woods. Be a ball up, middle of the ground. Woods just slung off it. Will be holding the ball. Prior opportunity. And Schoenmaker. Kicks it over the top of her teammates, and Gillow tracks it down. Back in the Schoenmaker direction. Wainberg tries to stand up and take that mark. Dispossessed. Georgie Gillow, who's kicked 2 goals already. He manages to find White. Here's Haberley. And here's Hill combining. Haberley and Hill. Kicking it inside 50. The Radford direction. Radford follows it up. Wainberg leaves it behind. Freestone is in there. Tackle applied, but Freestone's given away a free kick. That's a couple of holding the ball decisions, and then that holding the play decision against Freestone. Opportunity for Launceston. Hill flies high but can't take the mark. It's a handball outside to Schoenmaker. Schoenmaker with a handball over the top as well. Here's Rosso. Rosso. Ball spills to Taylor. Taylor to the pocket. Johnston and Radford there, and Radford sees it over the line. Witt takes it out of the ruck. Feeds Schoenmaker. Schoenmaker with a miss kick. Radford dispossessed. Handball to the outside. No good. Taylor's in there. Tackle applied. Done by Attard. Tap directly over to Liana Freestone. Clears it outside 50. Ball tumbling end over end. Well done here by Woods. And then Gillow. Show and maker. Now Lefebvre. Finally gets the handball away, but only so far as Freestone. Chipping ball. Can't quite be controlled by Richards. Brewitt. Brewitt has it. Takes a bounce, takes a second. Often racing. Brewitt. The outer side towards Cocker. Cocker to Williams. Cocker follows up that work. Tackled by 2 players. And there'll be a free kick here to White. Wind down to about 3 minutes remaining in this third term. South Launceston with just the 1 goal after half-time so far. Stewart can't take control of that one. Hill. Tap out towards Viney. Viney is tackled. Umpire blows the whistle and the ball up. Witt slung to the ground. A lot of appeals for a free kick. Umpire not obliging. Woods with a hurried kick inside 50. Here's Radford, who's been busy in this term. To Schoenmaker. Handles it. Eventually. Handles it behind a teammate, though, and goes into the centre of the ground where Gillow is waiting. He's Stewart. So far as Lefebvre. Lefebvre with a handball over the top in the direction of Kemsley. He's wide again. White collides with Viney. Kemsley and Carras. Carras with a strong tackle. Witt. The tap down. Williams applies the tackle. Overlap run here from Hardcastle. Hurried kick. It's intercepted. This will be Lyons. Lyons only so far as Haberley, who's been good in this third term. Haberley in the hill direction. Will tap over the top. Hill desperately tries to stop it from going out of bounds after the Lanza tap. Can't do so. So a boundary throw in inside 50 for Launceston. Just a bit over a minute remaining in this third term. 45-point lead to South Launceston. Launceston scored a goal in the last minute of the third term. We'll see if they can do the same, the first term. See if they can do the same thing in the third. Andrew throw in replay here. Good tap by Witt. Centering ball. Dangerous spot. Well done there by Gillow. Gets it across to Brewitt. And now out to Weldon. Weldon leaves it behind. Launceston just kicking in the wrong direction there to Wainberg. Wainberg dispossessed. And just to tap it back out. It's a scrap for the ball. Poppy Schoenmaker comes up with it. Just seconds to go here in this third term. Tackle will be applied to Witt. Clearing kick by South Launceston. There's the side. So a 45-point lead after just the 1 goal scored by Hayley Brewitt in that term to the Dogs. 7-9-51 to 1 goal straight. 6 goal kickers, Williams and Gillow with 2 singles to Brewitt, Richards and Salzberger. Launceston 1 goal to Johnston. For the final break, we'll take a pause and come back to you for the 4th quarter of this contest at Windsor Park for the Clean Away NTFA Premier League Women's Competition. South Launceston lead Launceston by 45 points. Stay with us. Welcome back to round 15 of the Cleanaway NTFA Premier League women's competition, where South Launceston, the best team in the competition, have continued to prove that all afternoon here at Windsor Park in Riverside. South Launceston leading this contest 7-9-51 to Launceston, 1 goal straight 6. Of course, South Launceston coming into this contest first at 12-2. That looks to be continuing. Launceston at 8-5-1 will drop closer to a squarer ledger. 8-6-1 looks to be their future. Goal kickers Williams and Gillow with 2 each. Breward, Richard and Salzburger with 1 for South Launceston, and for Launceston, Johnston with their solitary goal. Salzburger adding 1 to her competition leading 41 goals. She's now on 42 as we get going for this final term. All won there by Richards, and Freestone is in there as well. She has been all contest. Tackle applied by Schoenmaker, and now Vining. Kicking it forward in the direction of Salzburger. Salzburger dispossessed, follows up her work though really strongly. Handball, and now finding Gillow. Gillow trying to look for Cocker. Rossiter does well. And now a hack out of thin air. And a goal to Woods. Came out of nowhere. Gillow getting it to the top of the square. Rossiter with the tap, and then Woods with the presence of mind to pick the ball up, throw it on the boot, and is rewarded for her effort. So a 51-point margin. Just 1 minute into this final term. South Launceston putting the foot down a little bit here and make this a lucrative last term for themselves. That's clearly the message that's come out of the three-quarter time huddle. And add to that competition leading 687% leading into today. However, Launceston with a chance to move forward through Lefebvre. Lefebvre off the side of the boot, falls fortuitously to Corbett. Another intercept possession. Quite a lot of them in the first term. There's been a little quiet since then. Here's Freestone. Falls over. White applies the tackle. White follows up. Almost dragged it in. Follow up there by Corbett, who kicked it to Freestone in the first place. So good coverage there by Ashley Corbett. And we'll have a reset. The umpire will ball it up. Tap down from Gillow. Eventually, this falls into the lap of Leonard with an intercept mark. Leonard to the outer wing. Only so far as Freestone. He's had the ball on a string so far today. Falls to the goal kicker, Woods. Woods inside 50. Tackle applied there to Hardcastle, who wrapped up and apparently did not have prior opportunity. We a ball up. Ball spills to Salzburger. Salzburger. So far as White, though, with that handball. Viney inside 50, and a strong mark taken by Breward, who has 1 today. Opportunity to see she has the leg for a second. Hayley Breward. Breward approaches. Kicks through the ball, kicks it high and long. Right to the line of goal, but Sienna Smith is there with an intercepting mark, stopping any score at all. Smith, though, spots Freestone in the pocket. An intercept possession. Salzburger follows up her work. A high up and under to the square. Cocker and Williams. Who's going to win it? It is a behind in the end. South Launceston moving to a 52-point lead. As is their want, Launceston playing on from the behind, finding Hill. Great spoil there by Brewer, getting it across to Gillow. And then further afield then the Lions direction. Trying to clean this up is Lanza. He's dispossessed. Kelsey Hill, though. He's classy. Gets it to Lefebvre and back to Hill. Hill goes to centre wing. Here's Haberley. Probably been the pick of the Launceston players. Lefebvre with a nifty move. Goes the direction of Wainberg, who can't quite take that mark. It'll spill to the back of the pack. Addard's waiting. Freestone goes over the top of her. Gillow. Overrunning it there was Radford. Schoenmaker. At the centre of the ground. Here's Lefebvre. High up and under. More of a ruck contest than a marking contest, that one. Viney dispossessed. Here's Corbett. To White. White is taken high from Freestone. Did not appreciate that treatment. Nice kick there from White to Schoenmaker to the outer wing. Schoenmaker over to Borrowdale. Borrowdale can't quite control this one. It'll go out of bounds. And a throw-in will be the result. 12 minutes left in this contest, a 52-point margin. Goes over the top of Witt. He's contesting the ruck. Freestone. And just to get a handball, umpire said that one was legal. Breward. Over the top of Richards with a deft touch. Into the teeth of goal. Rumbling towards goal, but just missing to the left. Rossiter will hand over to White for the kick-in duties. White will play on. High long kick outside 50. Lanza can't quite control this one. Tracked down by Breward, but eventually falls to Lefebvre. Lefebvre with a hurried kick to Radford. Radford with a good pick-up, though. Radford finds Witt on the bounce. Plays on. Streaks forward. Hill manages to push her opponent under the ball. Attard. Tackled by two Launceston players and wraps the ball up. Gives South Launceston an opportunity to get numbers to this stoppage. Following up this work is Wainberg. Ball spills to the back of the pack. Freestone tackled. Stands up in the tackle. Follows up her work. Kicks it forward in the direction of Salzberger. Goes through her hands. Also Sienna Smith's hands. Here's Woods, the goal kicker this quarter. Williams tracking it down with White. And now Borrowdale. Through the legs of Borrowdale. And two bites of the cherry there for Richards was too many. Free kick to Hardcastle. Hardcastle with a high kick that gives Lefebvre an opportunity to run onto the mark. Lefebvre looking inboard. Ball's going to spill to Radford here. Kicks a long drop punt towards the 50. Ball's picked up by Wainberg. Wainberg puts on the afterburners. Wainberg kicks it out of bounds on the full. No one deep for Launceston, so Wainberg had to blaze away a little there. South Launceston with an opportunity to clear. It's Freestone again. We haven't seen Jaslyn Freestone since half-time. It's like Liana caught one in the breadbasket there and didn't enjoy it. took on the tackler in Lefebvre and ended up winning. Big searching ball. Running on it is Williams, but running over the top of it is Williams, and it falls to White again. Here's Woods. Woods tackled by 2 players, and a ball up. Just on the edge of the square here. South Launceston's side of the ground. 53-point margin at the minute. Certainly noticed the absence of Jaslyn Freestone, arguably the best player on the field in the first half. Liana tackled hard by Lefebvre. Thought she was caught high. Appealed to the umpire whilst being tackled for a free kick. Did not quite get that one. Gillow with a decisive tap. Follows up that work. Calling it Grace Gillow. Gillow is awarded the free kick in the marking contest and have an opportunity to move forward. In the Salzburger direction. White again, hanging tough in the defensive 50. Ball spills to Weldon. Weldon spots Richards on her own. And now Richards will have an opportunity to pop it up to the top of the square in the Cocker direction. Ball falls to Rossiter. Overruns it. Cocker picks it up. Rossiter with a strong smother. Rossiter good below the knees, but does put it out of bounds on the full after a Cocker push as she kicked. So an opportunity again for South Launceston to find a target. It'll be Weldon kicking from just inside 50. Deciding to switch. But that was a poor kick and it found Lefebvre. Now Haberley. Haberley to the wing. Morrison followed up her work. Here's Haberley again. Missed tackle there by Corbett. He's been pretty good today. Wainberg. Trying to search inside 50. Finds a teammate in Lanza. Lanza's dispossessed. Ball spills to the outside where Corbett is waiting. Here's Breward. Breward clearing it in the Freestone direction. Freestone guarded very well by Radford and then tackled very well by Haberley, and we'll have a ball up. About 6 minutes to go in this contest. South Launceston will move to 13 wins and 2 losses. Launceston will drop to 8 wins, 6 losses and 1 draw after this contest. 53-point margin. Dogs with another opportunity through Richards. Following it up was Salzburger. Span one way, the other, back the other. 3 blind turns in the space of 10 seconds by Salzburger. Cocker. Handball over the top in the Richards direction. Cut off there by Smith. Tackle applied. Cocker follows up. Spots a teammate in Salzburger. Salzburger to the top of the square. Williams has kicked 2. Williams has kicked 3. Leading goal kicker for the game, Emily Williams, with 3 goals. Rossiter was brave here, right at the teeth of goal, and then Williams was able to just snap it over her outstretched arms and move this to a 59-point contest. A tick over 4 minutes remaining. Tap down here from Witt. Falls to Radford. Radford going inside 50, searching for but can't find Wainberg. It falls to the back of the pack and Wainberg hacks it out of the middle. Wainberg with an end-over-end ball, and Launceston with their second score of the contest are behind. South Launceston with an opportunity to go end-to-end through Corbett. Corbett pulls it to the back of the pack. Controlled here by Woods. Woods. In the direction of Gillow. Here's Viney as well. Bit of hand fighting for the ball and a tackle applied. And be a bit of shared love from Viney to White. In play with a good spirit this contest. Ball spills out the back of the pack for Schoenmaker. Schoenmaker picks out Stewart for an intercept mark. Stewart to the wing to a 2-on-1. Freestone is up to the task though and wins that 2-on-1. Gives it to Gillow. And tackle applied by Haberley. 2.5 minutes remaining. 58-point margin. Freestone. Handball to the back of the pack. Another opportunity for South Launceston, but cut off by White. He's been one of Launceston's better players in this contest. Radford spills that mark, but follows it up. Tries the don't argue, but fortunately Morrison argued. And now Morrison applies the tackle to Radford. There'll be another ball up in the outer wing. Witt contests and follows up. Immediately tackles, and that's holding the ball. She dived on it. So Freestone. An opportunity to drive South Launceston forward with her long drop punt. Does just that, goes through the hands of Salzberger. Hardcastle is tackled. And that will be holding the ball. Opportunity now for Weldon. Weldon spots Salzberger. And there's an infringement picked out, and Salzberger will have an opportunity to kick her second goal of this contest. 25 metres out, directly in front. Lucy Salzberger, 42 goals in this competition this season, leads the competition. Kicks through the ball, kicks through the middle. And an exclamation point put on this victory by the Bulldogs. They lead it by 64 points, 10-11-71 to 1-1-7. Salzberger now with 2 goals. She'll move to 43 on the year. And a great way to finish it as we wind down to the last 30 seconds of this contest. We'll see probably a ball up in the centre, and that will be about it. So the goal kickers for this one, South Launceston, Williams with 3, 2 goals to Gillow and Salzberger, singles to Woods, Richards and Breward. For Launceston, it was Isabella Johnson who scored the single goal in this contest right at the quarter-time siren. Haberley forces it out of the middle, and that will do us for this round 15 contest in the Cleanaway NTFA Premier League Women's Competition, live from Windsor Park in Riverside. We're at South Launceston, 64-point victors in this competition, 10-11-71, and Launceston 1-1-7. Adam Webster with you this afternoon for this contest. Stay tuned to YouTube for Launceston versus South Launceston in the men's division. That is second versus third in that competition, so should be an enthralling contest in Windsor Park. For this one, though, it was South Launceston continuing on their winning ways by 64 points. For Adam Webster, it's been a pleasure to be with you this afternoon. Thanks so much for staying with us this afternoon. Stay tuned for the men's game coming up in about 20 minutes' time. Have a great afternoon, and we'll see you again next time.